if your English questions are correct, but the conversation still feels weak? You ask something, the other person answers, but the answer is short. The energy drops, and suddenly, the conversation feels like hard work. Why does that happen? Sometimes the problem is not your English. Sometimes the problem is the question. Today, we are going to fix that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with Sam and Lily.
This is the place where we help you speak English in a way that feels real, easy, and human.
Hi, Sam. I had a strange little conversation today.
Oh, really? What happened?
I met someone I know in the hallway. I smiled and asked, "Did you have a good weekend?" And they said, "Yes." And then, nothing.
Yes, that kind of answer. The conversation is not dead, but it is definitely not alive either.
Exactly. And I realized something. My question was polite, but maybe it was too easy to answer with one word.
Yes, that is such an important point. Some questions close the conversation. Other questions open it.
And that is exactly our topic today, how to ask better questions in English. Not harder questions, not more impressive questions, just better questions. Questions that feel more natural and help the conversation move.
And before we continue, if you enjoy these kinds of real-life English conversations, please like the video.
And subscribe to Speak English with Sam and Lily for more easy English podcast episodes.
And if you know someone who struggles with awkward conversation, share this episode with them.
Okay, let's start with one of the biggest problems, questions that are too closed.
Yes, a closed question is a question that can end very quickly, often with yes, no, good, fine, or maybe just one very short answer.
For example, did you like it? Was it good? Was it fun? Did you enjoy your weekend?
These questions are not wrong, but they often create small answers.
Now, listen to these. What was the best part? How was it? What did you do? What did you enjoy most?
Those questions feel better because they invite a bigger answer. They give the other person more room.
Let's compare them. I'll tell you something simple, then you ask me the weak version, and after that, the better version.
Okay?
I went to a concert on Saturday.
Did you like it?
Yes.
And now, the better version. What was the best part?
Probably the last song. Everybody was singing and the energy was amazing.
Much better. Now the conversation has something to work with.
Yes, that is the first big idea today. Better questions usually open the door wider.
Now let's talk about my favorite conversation habit, asking from the last answer.
Yes, this is such a useful skill. A lot of people think they need amazing questions prepared in advance, but often the best next question is already in the other person's last answer.
For example, if I say, "My weekend was pretty good," you can ask, "Oh, nice. What did you do?" If I say, "I visited my cousin," you can ask, "Really? Are you close?" If I say, "She just moved to a new apartment," you can ask, "Oh, wow. Does she like it?"
See what is happening there? You're listening, then choosing one detail, then asking from that detail. That's what makes questions feel natural.
Let's do a full little flow. You start.
How was your weekend?
It was nice. I went to the coast.
Oh, nice. Who did you go with?
Just my brother.
That sounds good. Do you two travel together often?
Not really, actually. This was a bit unusual.
That is how conversation grows, not from random questions, but from listening.
Good questions come from listening.
Now, let's talk about another important thing, questions that sound too stiff.
Yes, sometimes learners ask questions that sound like a job interview or a school test, not like real conversation.
For example, what is your hobby? Why do you enjoy this hobby? How many times per week do you practice this activity?
Yes, very correct, but maybe a little too formal for a coffee break.
A more natural version would be, what do you usually do for fun? How did you get into that? Do you do it often?
These feel better because they sound human, relaxed, curious, not like you're collecting information for a form.
Let's try that with another topic. Travel. A stiff question might be, where did you travel during your previous vacation?
A more natural version would be, did you go anywhere nice recently? Or, have you been away anywhere lately?
Yes, much better. That feels like real life.
This is a good place to say something important. You do not need smart questions. You do not need deep questions. You do not need perfect questions.
You just need simple questions that sound open and interested.
Curiosity matters more than complexity.
Now, let's bring this into small talk, because good questions matter a lot there.
Yes, in small talk, the best questions are usually light and easy. Not too personal, not too heavy. Easy to answer.
Questions like, how's your week going? Been busy lately? What have you been up to? Doing anything nice this weekend?
At work, you might ask, how's your day been so far? In class, did you understand that last part? At a cafe, have you been here before? With a neighbor, been a busy week?
Good small talk questions feel safe. They give the other person an easy way in.
Now let's deal with one of the most frustrating moments in conversation. Short answers.
Yes, you ask something and they say, good, fine, busy, and now what?
Short answers do not have to end the conversation. You can open them a little.
For example, if someone says, good, you can say, oh, nice. What made it good?
If they say busy, you can ask, yeah? What have you been working on?
If they say fine, you can soften and open it with, that's good. Then a long day?
That is a very useful skill. You're not forcing the conversation. You're simply giving it one more chance to open.
Let's try one. I'll give a short answer. You rescue the conversation.
Okay.
My weekend was fine.
That's good. Did you get a chance to relax?
A little, yes. I stayed home most of the time.
Honestly, that sounds nice. Do you enjoy quiet weekends?
And now the conversation is alive again.
Now let's make this even more practical. Better questions in different places.
At work, a useful question might be, how's your day been so far? Or, what are you working on today?
In class, you might ask, did that make sense to you? Or, how did you answer that last question?
When meeting someone new, you could ask, what do you usually do? Or, what do you like doing outside work?
In a cafe or waiting somewhere, you might ask, have you been here before? Or, is this your usual order?
Different place, different question, but the same idea. Simple, open, friendly, and easy to answer.
Okay, now let's do the same conversation in two versions. Weak version first, then better questions.
Let's do it.
Two coworkers at lunch. Weak version first. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes.
Did you go out?
A little.
Was it fun?
Yes.
Nothing is wrong there, but nothing is really growing either.
Now, the better version.
How was your weekend?
It was nice, actually. I went out on Saturday.
Oh, nice. What'd you get up to?
I met a friend for lunch, and then we walked around the city.
That sounds good. Do you two meet often?
Not as often as we want, actually. So it was really nice.
Much better. Now it sounds like two real people talking.
So, what have we really learned today?
We learned that closed questions often create short answers.
We learned that better questions open the conversation.
We learned that the best next question often comes from the last answer.
We learned that natural questions sound curious, not formal.
We learned that short answers do not have to end the conversation.
And we learned that simple questions are often the best questions.
Yes, good conversation is not about asking many questions. It's about asking the right kind of simple question at the right moment.
You don't need perfect English to ask better questions. You just need easy, open, curious English.
And now we want to hear from you.
Which question from today do you want to use this week?
Or tell us, what is harder for you, asking questions or knowing what to ask next?
We love reading your comments, and it's a great way to practice real English.
And if this episode helped you, share it with one friend today.
And don't forget to subscribe to Speak English with Sam and Lily if you're new here.
Thank you so much for listening today. We believe in you. Keep practicing. You can do this.
See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.